So one of the benefits of being home is just being able to bounce off some ideas between the parents and just, having someone to have a little bit of a chat with in between work blocks. And one of the topics that come up is obviously the current job that I do, because it still is a job, but it's a way out and it's a path to online money and being able to work remotely, is remote sales. Now this involves doing outbound dials in the early stages, doing setting calls, calling up people who are probably qualified. You've got your number on a database and you check with them with something they may have downloaded or something that they've applied to get assistance with their business, the one that I'm doing at the minute. And in that process, you go through a couple of different emotions. You go through boredom, you go through distraction, frustration, anger, and you cycle through these emotions, and also elation when the set comes in or the close comes in and the end of the month and you get paid. And also good and bad days and the feelings that come along with knowing that you could have tried harder, and the feeling of being a little bit, how can you say, less productive than you could have been. So you're battling through these different emotions, and it's being able to look past that, being able to analyse the situation, being able to listen correctly, being able to look at a conversation and be able to diagnose what needs to happen and how to take them from where they are at the moment into a position of growth, in a place where they can improve, and offering them the right solution so that they're going to get benefit from it rather than just signing them up to the cash. So yeah, there's all those things that I'm battling with at the moment, and it's good to just chat away and talk about things and get a good second opinion on things, and not necessarily just listen, but also to talk, hear a different viewpoint, and then just be able to make your own decision from that. So I'd recommend remote sales as something to get out of your 9 to 5 into a remote 9 to 5. And also because it has the roadmap of to go from setting to closing to then potentially having your own offer, and you know how the sales system works from there. The communication benefits that you get from doing remote sales is absolutely crazy. You can come up with a conversation and have a chat with literally anyone about anything, as long as you can, form up the next couple of words. You're going to be able to roll off and get things out like this recording. I don't script these videos, I just talk, and I talk about what's going on inside my head. And I think that's beneficial. Sometimes I might have gone off a bit of a tangent, but what it does is it gives you a bit of a real cut on things. It's not scripted. I'll just turn the camera on and talk about what I've been doing. So how can you benefit from any of this that I've just said? It's, if you are a young lad and you're stuck in your 9 to 5 and you want to be able to work from another country, or at least work from home and be able to sort of choose your hours, sales is a great way to do that. Depending on the offer, whoever you're working for, you can earn anywhere between 2k to 10k to 20k a month, depending on your skill level. You're not going to go straight to 20k, and people that do probably have a good month and a bad month, a good month and maybe a shit month, because they haven't actually sat there and learned. Some people are more inclined to sales than others. Some people are more extroverted. They're better at conversation. I was never one of them. I've had to work through this to be able to improve my communication, the way that I speak, formulating sentences to actually have an impact and be able to bring out the emotion and also reality of the situation for someone that you're speaking with. So in actuality, whether that's even a word, in real life, the important thing is that you are earning, learning and growing. Other than that, not a lot matters. You've got your family. As long as you can provide for your family with your earning and you can spend time with them when they need it, and you're also working yourself outside in the gym, in conversation, which sales helps with, in relationships, you've got to be able to know the game so you don't get wrecked. You've got to also be able to do stuff when people need it. You've got to be able to work things out. You've got to be able to support people, be able to fix things when they break. problem solving, quick decision making, and a lot of this I can attest back to my employments that I've been in before. Perhaps it's my style, perhaps it's inclined to my personality, but I think a lot of things can be learnt. I'm not necessarily inclined to sales, but I'm open to it, and the fact that I am that way allows me to learn. I'm trying to stop saying so before I speak on these videos. Just as a little note to myself, trying to stop saying these filler words, because all it does is create a distance between what you're trying to say and the person speaking, and also the listener. Therefore, it's better to take pauses and think in the moment when you're speaking, or actually wait when someone asks you a question until you've got a good answer, rather than just trying to speak as soon as they stop to fill the silence. A little bit of silence is good. It makes the person who you're speaking with think about what they said as well. It gives you better time to, or more time to think and have a good structured answer and say it concisely. So you don't waste time by waiting. You have a little bit of a break. Say this is the conversation or the word or the sentence that you would have said, and this is the time you'd waited. Well, it's not going to be like this. It's going to be shorter. You're going to have a time to think and a shorter, concise explanation. So that's a benefit. Additionally, you get used to the uncomfortability of the silence. And sometimes in sales, a lot of the time, if you drop the price for a program, or you explain something, or you say something with impact, leaving the gap, leaving them to think, it actually gives them time to actually break down what you said, because you can actually interrupt the person's thought process and overwhelm them, and then cause them to have an objection. Some people need to do the maths in their head when you say something, or they need to have time to actually work out what even the words were. So it's not all about you, because the other person is thinking about themselves. So if you can take that self-consciousness off of the table when you are in a uncomfortable situation, it's going to make your communication, your conversation, and then also your ability to sell a lot better. Silence is your friend. Those are the sort of pauses that you're going to have to come up against when you drop big figures on sales calls. Big silence can ultimately lead to big reward. Sorry. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stick around for more. I like to just drop my thoughts on these. I want to get a bit more consistent and have a daily upload schedule. In fact, I will, but I've made excuses to myself, and it's time to grab the bull by the horns, try new techniques to stay focused, and all in all, remember the why to keep us going, because that's the important thing. The why is the most important driving factor. It's not the motivation, because some mornings you're not going to want to run, you're not going to want to gym, you're not going to want to sit down at the desk and get talked to like an a-hole. And the why will overcome all that. Having a big enough why is going to bring you through the dark times into the light. Stick around for more, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.